Yeah, what do you for sweets?
I'm probably like a nerd gummy clusters.
That's okay. Those are
Same,
Finley's
dude.
favorite.
I love-
Yeah, I got a bag on me, honestly.
Really?
It's my backpack in the back.
Welcome back to Arsenic Culture. I'm Matt.
I'm Jason.
I'm Drew.
And we're on the road. This is fucking crazy.
How could you tell?
Love
Yeah, I
this.
know. As Willie Nelson said, we're on the road again.
Obeying all traffic safety laws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not driving, so I'm good.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a whole series of quick shots of of new bourbon in the car. No, we're not. Jason, where are we going, man?
We're going to Knoxville, Tennessee, to the Xül Kill the Lights Festival.
Kill the Lights Beer Fest.
Pretty pumped about this one.
This is the fourth time they've done it, I believe.
Fourth time. We've been to two of the last three.
We missed the last one.
Missed last year, and then we'll be here this year.
We actually, I think the last one we went to, we did like a little short episode on it.
We did.
And basically, we're kind of unanimously said this is probably one of the best beer fests in the country. Now, beer fests have kind of like declined a lot, I feel like, in popularity, but I think that goes with like beer in general kind of declining in popularity, craft beer altogether, but there's still some good ones out there, man.
Yeah, I don't know if they've declined overall. Well, they probably have. I think your smaller ones kind of went away.
Yeah.
But you still have the big ones, right? You got like GABF.
Great American
You've
Beer
got-
Fest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the Great Taste of the Midwest, like Wisconsin-ish, or
Does Wellwork still do
not
theirs?
Wisconsin. Where the hell? Maybe it isn't Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wellworks does theirs. I think Firestone Walker has an invitational
Yeah.
side project. So you still have some big ones. But Fobab.
Yeah, Fobab's
But I
actually
think
a really
now,
good
I mean,
one.
honestly, for the South, this is probably the biggest beer fest south of Kentucky. Like,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Because I don't think Hunapoo's Day is anything anymore.
No, Cigar City, I don't know if they do theirs anymore. Garage East isn't even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder if Mikkeller or whatever does that one.
I think they do the one overseas, right?
Yeah,
Like they kept it out of the U.S.
Yeah, it's funny. They pulled out of the United States, but that was always a fun one.
We had
But,
a great time at that one.
Yeah, man. So we're hitting the road, and road trips is something that I feel like we are more familiar with than most people. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's obviously people that live on the road, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've done our fair share of road trips.
I've never
And,
had a bad time.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't jump so quickly to say that, but no, they usually are really fun. But yeah, I wanted to kind of sit here and like shoot the shit and talk about like road trips in general, because
Yeah.
there's a certain kind of like planning you have to do. There's a certain kind of not really etiquette, but you have to be in a certain frame of mind, especially when you go for like 4 or 5 or like 5 or 6 or 7 days. But Drew, you ever been on any road trips?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been on one or two.
Yeah, I know.
They
We've been on
mainly
some together too.
Revolve around concerts.
Yeah. What's the best one you think you've ever been on? And I'm
Jesus.
counting like family vacations or whatever too.
Yeah.
That didn't make the list.
They usually, yeah. I love my family. I love my family. but-
Sorry,
Cut
guys.
this out. Cut this out.
Did you all see that interview with Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
It was like Twitter or something like that, and he was
No.
talking about
being
and
eaten
he's
by
like,
himself.
I love, Yeah. He was like,
Yeah.
I love my family. There's nothing I can think of better than that. But he's like, sometimes just eating out by yourself, it's kind of nice. He's like, I used to go to a restaurant and see a guy eating by himself, and I'm like, I feel sorry for that guy.
I think he's got like 9 kids. or
Yeah,
something.
that's true. Yeah, but
Well-
he's like, I'm doing it now, and he's like, man, this is kind of like a little slice of heaven.
Yeah, there is something nice about that, especially when you have that many kids at home.
Yeah.
Man, I know it's not much of a road trip, but like the first Louder Than Life festival was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was short, but that was still like the first one was only 2 days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Out in Louisville.
Yeah. But I also really enjoyed our first trip to Michigan.
Yes.
The second one was a little bit messed up.
That
but
was y'all went to one of the Great Lakes up there.
Yeah, I went to
we were
Grand,
right on Lake
Grand
Michigan.
Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Have you
it
ever
was
been to
wild.
Michigan, Jason?
I have, but not. We were up there for, remember the locals, they do a get together, my beer group, once a year. And one of our friends, Nick, at his family's like a lake house.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, dude, that was when I was like burnt to a crisp. But
Yeah.
I had no intention of getting in the water. But
I can't imagine
12
that
hours,
would happen to you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
12 hours later, I was in the water.
Why didn't you want to get in the water?
Because I was like, I'm not taking swimming trucks. I'm just going to sit out there and drink some on the dock.
yeah.
I was the first one in the water.
Yeah.
Like, anybody want to get in? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
And we actually did a road trip through Michigan also. But yeah,
we did.
vacationing up there, it's beautiful, man. And we had no idea until Drew and planned this one up there. And we had a blast up in Grand Haven. And we ended up going again, and tragedy kind of, not tragedy, but like, misfortune struck. And we had hospital issues, and family couldn't all get together. But yeah, it is a really good time over there. Like in the summer, the beaches are like 70.
Oh, it's perfect.
5 degrees.
Yeah.
And the water's super calm. Unless there's a storm, then it's like worse than the ocean, which is really ironic.
Yeah, there was a storm. The first year we went, there was a storm that came across the lake, and it whipped up this, people were out there surfing on Lake Michigan, and there was this really bad rip current up against the jetty or whatever, the pier, and a guy ended up drowning out there, and they had the Coast Guard helicopter out there for a couple of hours trying to search for this guy.
It wasn't even a guy, it was like a kid.
Where was this at? In Michigan?
In Grand Haven.
It was like,
he was like in his 20s or something.
I thought he was like 16, 17, or 18.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, so they had like chains of people holding hands, walking through the water.
Oh, just
like
dragging
the water.
Trying to drag
it was kind of terrifying.
That's scary.
And they ended up finding him like 3 days later.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Yeah,
but it's kind of crazy.
Happy
You can
memories.
surf on.
Yeah, it's like a great road trip there.
Yeah, it was a great road trip.
So what about you, Matt? What's your favorite road trip?
So there's a lot of them, man. Like one that sticks out was the first time we did New England.
Yeah. Flew into Vermont and then drove all around.
We flew, me, Jason, our buddy Nolan, our buddy Kyler. No, that was Jeff. That was Jeff. Yeah, Kyler and then Jeff, who used to be on the show. Yeah, we flew into Vermont. We rented like Nissan Armada, and we drove all the way through New England. We ended up hitting like 15 or 20 breweries or something like that.
Yeah.
We went to there's this picture I posted to social media. We went to Treehouse.
Yep.
And we walked out with 2 dollies.
I think it was
completely
3.
Full
I think we each had a
of
dolly.
beer. Yeah, it was absolutely insane. And people were staring at us like, these guys are reselling it. We drank every single bit of that. Gave some to friends and stuff.
We drank half of it on the trip.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a good trip.
That was when we pulled in the airport though at Maine after we drove from Vermont.
Yeah.
And asked for a bigger rental car.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Halfway through the Armada wasn't big enough.
And they're like, actually a quarter way through.
It was kind of a.
They're like, oh, well, we got something bigger. We have an Armada. I'm like, that's what we're in.
That's
now.
what we're in.
Yeah. So we got the Expedition XL Ford, whatever the biggest
the
Expedition
Platinum.
is. Yeah.
Expedition XL Platinum.
That was a boat. Man, we got that thing.
Massive,
there was no space in the car for anything else.
It was hilarious.
I remember the picture. You guys come back and just the back was
our armrest.
The back was like way down.
Yeah.
It was like heavy in the back. It was hilarious. That was a really good trip. And then we got to see a whole bunch of breweries. Mm-hmm. And one of the highlight breweries was Suarez. Yeah. For me, up in New York, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It was gorgeous.
What part of New York is that in?
It's not quite upstate, but it's like a little bit further north.
Well, anything that's not in New York City is considered upstate, I think, right?
That's what I would think too. But
I think even if you're like in Buffalo, I think they still call that upstate, even though it's like it's like west. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did not think you were in New York, like just didn't.
No, it was so
cool.
serene. That was a really good one. The first when we went to what's not Sonic Temple? What was it called back then? Rock on the Range. Yeah, with me, you, and Ross.
Yeah.
That was actually a really good one too. I love that. And I was much smaller back then. I got banged around a lot and did a lot more crowd surfing, but that was a good time.
I think we all bled at that
some point.
concert.
Yeah.
Don't take that statement out of context, right?
I think there's 2 really, really funny parts that stand out to me about that trip, that event. The first one was when we're all standing there and Seven Dust, I think, had just finished playing.
Yeah.
And at these festivals, you can't have glass bottles, but they would give you plastic bottles.
So they were aluminum. They were the aluminum bottles.
Oh, okay.
Back then, those were plastic.
Oh, okay, I thought they were aluminum.
Yeah, and this guy in front of us, they finished a song, and everybody's like, "Fuck yeah!" And this guy turns around, and I mean, he is 3 feet from Ross. And he's going to throw this beer bottle.
He's trying to throw it backwards towards the end of the crowd.
He hits Ross right in the forehead, like right here, and like it put a dimple. It looked like little lips, and it split his head.
Damn.
And Ross was like, "What the fuck, man?"
This guy goes full, cocks his arm back like he's in the major league, and he just wings it, and it goes straight down into Ross's head. And he just starts bleeding him immediately. He just looks like, what the fuck? And the guy just puts his hands over his mouth. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That was supposed to go way over there, not like straight into your face.
Yeah. And then the other one, we were in the middle of like the mosh pit. People are crowd surfing. And people are coming over, just wave after wave of people.
Yeah.
And, you're basically, there's just body parts going everywhere.
When people are crowd surfing, you have to have your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Because
for sure,
arms and legs and heads and stuff just come at you, and if you're not ready, you're going to get rocked. You're going to get knocked out.
Well,
so
sometimes there's people, like a gap will open behind you also, so you don't know that there's a gap there. People can fall on you. And
so you're constantly just looking back, like trying to see if somebody's coming.
Well, so bodies are flying everywhere, and people are supposed to cross their legs like this. So you don't
crowd surfing.
Yeah, so you can either roll better, or it's easier for people to get you because if your legs are apart and there's too many moves. Anyway, this person was just tumbling through the crowd, and Matt turns around and tries to get a hand up. Well, then their foot swings over and hits him like right in the mouth, like the bottom of their foot.
As soon as it came at me, and like it was like a Timberland, and just like clock, it just right in the face, and I thought my nose was bleeding. And like I got dazed for a second. I was like, "Holy shit!" And Ross, Drew turns to me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I spit a little bit, and I was like, "I think she stepped in vomit." And like whatever was on her shoe, got in my mouth, and I was like spitting like somebody else's vomit out of my mouth from her shoe.
You're gonna make me vomit right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. What's your favorite road trip, Jason?
Man, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick one. I always have a pretty good time on any road trip. It's good to be out with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I think the New England one was fun with friends, and then also the one we did in like South Carolina. The first time we went to 8th State.
Yes.
That's where we actually met Brad West from Xül.
From Xül, we're heading down there. That's when we went to Answer, right?
No, that's when we went to 8th State. Their beer. We were waiting in line out there.
We saw Yeti.
Yep.
And then,
yeah, was Yeti there? Maybe, but Brad was there from Xül for sure.
See, I thought we ended up going down to see Yeti after that.
I think it was before, but maybe it was after. Either way. Yeah, on the same trip.
Yeah, same trip.
But I mean, I think overall, I just always have a pretty good time.
Yeah,
it's more about the people than necessarily where I'm going, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. The one we did in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
That's the same one, right?
That's what I just said. Yeah. That was a good time. And then the one where me and you went to Richmond, Virginia, and you worked and I just drank beer.
Yeah. You filled up the back of my wife's vehicle, or my wife's car.
Mm-hmm. And I just took off work. He had some
I was in a certification class for
like
training.
2 days, and I'm just like,
too, and beer drinking.
I'm sending him pictures of like all the shit I'm drinking from the Answer and like from the Veil, and he's like, because I had to drive like an hour to get there, and he's like, "Are you gonna drive my wife's car back home?" And I was like, "I'm fine, don't worry about it."
Small pours.
He comes back and there's the trunk is full. There's cases of beer. There was crowlers, growlers.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was.
Came back and we got some Mad Dog, some MD 2020. We got the blue raspberry.
That was back when beer was really fun.
And we drank that side by side with like the white Ferrari or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that was awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
So what about road trips? I think music is a key part. So I looked it up a little bit.
Yeah,
and Rolling Stone did a top 50 list. So I won't go through all 50, but top 5.
Okay.
You got any guesses, Matt, on what would be in the top 5 road trip songs?
We're talking about bands or songs?
Songs.
Oh,
this would be a song.
Okay.
No genres off limits. It's Rolling Stone. So.
Well, I got to go Willie Nelson on the road again. That's how
that's one you're thinking in there. It's not.
It's not in the top 5?
No.
Is it in the top 20?
I didn't look that far.
Drew, you got paywall or something.
Yeah.
I'll be impressed if any of you get, like, if you get any of these.
Really?
Yeah. What do you got? I guess, Drew.
I really don't. I mean,
I would never pick these. I've got to guess this is not it.
Okay.
Number 5, My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. Like that's not even. That don't even make my playlist.
No,
I'm not a Lit fan anyway. So
I think that's their only song. But
right.
Yeah, one hit wonder.
Number 4, Rolling in the Deep, Adele.
This is a weird list.
Who filled this
I
out?
don't know. Number 3, I could see this one, Radar Love. I think that was Golden Earring, maybe was the band name. I could see that one.
Yeah.
Number 2, Crosstown Traffic, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
okay, but I don't know if it's a road trip song necessarily.
No, I could put Jimmy on in general.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd specifically like play that song though.
And then number 1, which I've never even heard of this song.
Wheels on the Bus.
that would be better, probably. Roadrunner, from the Modern Lovers.
Huh?
Have you ever heard that?
No.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know who the Modern Lovers
I
are.
don't
I've
We'll
never
play
heard
that in a
song.
minute, but I thought that was an interesting one.
Roadrunner from Modern
Well,
Lovers.
Yeah.
so those are just
It's Rolling
themed.
Stone top 50.
Right, but
it
those
must
are,
be.
Those
yeah.
are themed that have like rolling in the deep, right? I mean, like
yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be
But
sitting
my own
driving
worst
down the
enemy's
road.
not. That's not themed.
Yeah,
That's
that
like
doesn't
coming
even
in drunk,
make
right?
sense.
So,
I'm trying to think if there's anything in that
Crosstown
song.
Traffic might be like going from one part of town to the other. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
you know.
you
So
strike.
other things I looked at, just kind of thinking about. So famous road trip scenes or movies.
Right.
I didn't see like a top 50 or 100 list, but I just put down some notes. So anything, Matt, any movies or scenes you come to mind for road trips?
They did that movie called Road Trip.
They
and
did,
I know
okay,
a
yeah.
lot of people cite that one, which, I mean, that's a funny movie.
It is.
Too. Euro Trip was another one that was kind of funny.
All the national
Any of the
lampoons I
national
put together,
lampoons.
yeah.
American Vacation is the first
Oh,
one.
fantastic.
It was like the
European
road
Vacation
trip
is my favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Drew, you got any?
Cannonball Run. I don't know if it's really
Oh,
a road
that's a
trip,
good one.
but
That's a good one.
That's a
That's a
great
good
one.
one.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Smokey
it
and the
is.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Little
Yeah.
Eastbound and Down. That'd probably make my top 50.
Right.
Eastbound
road
and
trip
Down,
song.
you call that?
That's a road trip song.
well, it's just like a song that
Yeah.
you listen to
Oh,
while
I got you.
you're
I
don't
thought
know
you were talking about the show with,
Oh, no,
yeah.
Danny McBride, yeah.
I was like, I mean, he does drive to Mexico at
Yeah.
one point, I guess.
Also very good.
yeah.
What about some I thought of were Almost Famous, the bus scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they're
It's
all
Michelle's
on the
favorite
bus, they're
movie.
all like they're really down. They have tiny dance. Everybody starts singing
Right,
and stuff. Kind
Oh.
of gets them back together.
Yeah.
Thought that was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool. I remember that part of the movie.
Yeah.
That was like the only part of the movie I liked.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
Michelle's favorite movie.
Is it
I
really?
like that
I didn't
movie a
even
lot.
care for the whole movie.
But that's a very memorable scene.
Yeah, it is.
Another one, older movie here I came up with, Easy Rider. You remember that one?
I don't- who's
Jack
in that?
Nicholson.
Yes.
I don't
That's
think I've ever
way
seen
back
that
when. I
one.
think it was Jack
He's
Nicholson,
riding a motorcycle, right?
Dennis
Yeah,
Hopper,
like a big
and then,
chopper.
Yeah. And then I can't remember the last guy's name. I'll think of it in a minute.
Yeah.
Another one, Tommy Boy. Remember that when they were in
Yeah,
the car?
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I used
Tommy
that.
Boy's great.
I used that in a meme on Twitter or
Yeah.
X the other day, just to.
And then
spare
two
somebody.
more I'm thinking about. So Dumb and Dumber, that's a classic.
That's
right?
a classic
They're
one.
driving on the damn moped or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
And then Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Fear and Loathing.
Johnny Depp. That was pretty wild.
Thelma and
scenes.
Louise is actually another
That is,
good one.
yeah. Especially off the.
And there was
cliff.
one that's like that sticks out. And
That's
I
what
can't
we're gonna do later.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ride in the back, just jump off, and y'all take off.
Well, there's one with. I know this is kind of out there, but I think it was like Clint Eastwood in like.
Oh, the trucking movie
I can't
with the
remember.
monkey.
No, it's a
Oh.
Pink Cadillac.
Oh yeah, he was in that one.
Yeah. I don't know. The trucking movie with the monkey.
Yeah. You
fuck are you talking about, no?
Dude, I'll think of it in a minute, but yeah.
The
He was like a trucker
Anything
and had
in-
like a monkey, like a chimp. Yeah, no shit.
How about PB's Big Adventure? Would that
Oh
be
yeah, that'd
considered?
work.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
work. I mean, I'll allow it.
Yeah, Large Marge.
Marge.
Yeah.
There's no rules with these lists here, Drew.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, you know, one cool thing I like about road trips also
Yeah.
is that depending on how far you're driving and who you're driving with, the drive can be as much fun
Oh, yeah.
as
Oh, yeah.
the,
Yeah,
as
you can
wherever
do
you go to
shit
your
like this.
destination.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
The other
Yeah.
thing I always seem to get into with road trips, if we're going on a couple day adventure, is like, oh, we have an event planned for tomorrow,
Yeah.
but tonight could be more fun. Like
Yeah.
it could, because I've had that happen before many times actually.
So let's talk about like the unspoken rules of road trips, because that is actually a big one that we kind of started adapting early on.
Mhm.
Whenever we go somewhere, especially if it's like
We did, but then you got too hungover and had to sit in the car for like 3 days. But I digress.
that was in the middle of the road trip, not the beginning.
I'm just saying.
My thing is that we typically like will plan stuff out and then we'll start a day early, and that kind of gives us a cushion.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to.
Like this one, for example, the Xül Kill the Lights Beer Fest isn't until tomorrow. When does it start tomorrow?
I think
Like
noon.
11,
11,
12?
11
Yeah,
for us, baby.
we're in 11.
So it's like
VIP.
we could have woken up at like, like 7 and
Yeah.
driven down there. But you know what? It's what is it? 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever it is.
2.
2. let's just go down there. Let's get a few beers.
Yeah.
We're gonna go watch UK. Hopefully, kick Purdue's ass later tonight, and it's a good time. And then you get a cushion, and then you're not stressed out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good unspoken rule, is to kind of give yourself time early to get acclimated.
Well, and driving from Lexington to Knoxville, I-75, anything can happen.
Right.
So, you know, we could get up in the morning and drive, and the damn interstate could be closed for 5 hours.
For like 2 or
for
3
an accident.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Another road
right.
trip rule is you got to have snacks, which we'll have to stop in a minute during this stuff.
We need to get something to
You got
eat.
to have some snacks. Got
Yeah.
some beef jerky or whatever. So
Yeah.
Also,
Well-
that movie, Clint Eastwood movie, Every Which Way But Loose.
Okay.
Look it up
Okay.
if you've never seen it. It's a good movie.
Okay. I am actually familiar with that movie. I still think your description was hilarious, but I am familiar
Whatever.
with that
Clyde is the
monkey.
or
That's
the
right.
whatever.
It was like a
chimpanzee
yeah, it was a
orangutan.
chimp, I think, right?
movie.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But what are your favorite go-to snacks for a road trip?
Oh shit, that's a good one.
What's like your favorite
I'll go
chip, and then
one.
like a candy if you have it.
Okay, so favorite chip, I think I go Doritos, classic Doritos
Okay.
for me.
See, I'm a barbecue, especially like a Grippos or something like that. And like,
Grippos are solid.
I'm big with like beef jerky. I always got to have like.
You
beef
just said
jerky on it.
chips, Matt. Damn it.
I know. I'm trying to like.
Don't think of nothing else.
I'm,
Chips.
I'm doing an overarching
No, no.
Okay.
snack pick.
What about you, Drew? Chips.
The Gardetto rye.
Oh, those are solid.
Chip, that's
Yeah,
Like
the
if you can
little
get the
disc
ones,
things,
if you can
yeah.
get the ones that are just the rye crisp,
Fantastic.
that's my chip go-to.
Yeah.
You said sweets now.
Yeah, what do you eat for sweets?
I'm probably like the newer candy, Nerd gummy clusters.
That's okay. Those are
Same,
Finley's
dude.
favorite.
I
Yeah,
love-
I got a bag on me, honestly.
Really?
It's my backpack
Ready
in
to
the back.
go.
Yeah. It's 100% in there.
You're like Uncle Danny with the grilled cheeses
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
What about you for sweets, Matt?
I don't know. I could go for a grilled cheese right now, though. That
All right.
sounds pretty
You throw some
good.
bacon
You
jam or
got a
something on
hot
there.
plate in the bag.
Yeah. Just start cooking.
Short order cook back here.
That's hilarious.
What about you, Drew?
Yeah, I love the gummy. Something that's gummy, but also a little bit crunchy. So like I'm on board with the nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ropes or the clusters for sure.
I think the moral of the story is a road trip's about as fun as you can make it and the people you're with, but
Oh yeah, man.
generally always a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if y'all ever been on a road trip, sound off. Tell us what your unspoken rules are and what your snacks are, or if you hate being in the car, then tell us that too, and we will make fun of
Or if
you.
you hate riding with somebody.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in for more Arsenic Culture. You can check us out on all the socials. We are at Arsenic Culture.
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
We'll see you on the next one.